Clair Obscur opens with one of the most gripping and simple premises we've encountered in a JRPG. In this world, every year, a mysterious figure called Paintress marks a number on a distant tower, and everyone of that age simply vanishes into nothingness. Wow, talk about a game that absolutely crushed it. In this one, this RPG has some new gameplay features, really interesting fighting dynamics, and overall a story that just wants you to get more involved and deeper into the storyline. It's not one of those massive 200-hour, 100-hour RPGs. What they do is they cut through the action very efficiently, but at the same time still giving you opportune time to explore the world, discover hidden secrets, and they do a really good job with the storytelling. The cutscenes are so well put together, and even though this game might have been more underrated through 2025, or people just didn't know about it, you can tell why it absolutely crushed at the 2025 Game Awards. When you start your playthrough, the year is set to 33, and you are Expedition 33, a group of people with 1 year left to live, setting sail to stop the Paintress before the countdown begins. The setup instantly hooks you into the atmosphere as you wonder why this figure is doing all of this, and how it can be going on for so long, and what you can do to stop it. The prologue does an excellent job of showcasing emotional stakes, so you get invested into the story before the expedition even starts.
When you battle the Paintress, know that Lumiere fights with you.
As for the gameplay and combat, Clair Obscur is visually stunning, especially compared to its rivals like Final Fantasy. Screenshots from the game look like paintings at times, especially in high detail environments like crystallized cave, underwater sunken cities, forests, and villages. Here, you navigate this charming world with an overworld map, so you don't have mini-maps, and while this takes a minute to get used to, it doesn't take away from the gaming experience as you roam around these wonderful worlds. Some critics say that it would be nice to have a mini-map in dungeons, but that's not how they did things. As for the combat system in Clair Obscur, it is a breath of fresh air for RPGs, as what you do actually matters even though it's turn-based, with unique real-time action. Attacks can involve time button presses, and you'll have a chance to dodge enemy attacks with perfect time parries triggering counter attacks. This is cool because you can miss those parries if you don't do it properly. And while some say the game is a bit too easy for its first third, it is definitely worth giving it the time, because those second 2/3 of the game, the combat gets much more interesting, it becomes more challenging, and you really have to max out your skill tree and time those moves properly in order to succeed. Each character has their own thing going on, which adds a nice variety to combat. Gustav builds charges with each successful hit, then spends those charges on his overcharge ability for massive damage. Lune is a mage with powerful spells, and Mael operates entirely through stance changes, and depends on whether enemies are debuffed for what weapon she chooses. And with this, she'll shift between offensive and defensive stances mid-fight. The skill trees are concise, so you don't drown in 100+ abilities. Instead, you get to focus on a set of tools, and the game expects you to understand how they work together, so it might take a bit of time in the beginning to learn this, but once you do, the different loadouts and the best combos come to you before those big boss fights. Then they have the Picto system, which is the game's take on equipment that changes how your character actually works. Want to start every fight with an action point? There's a Picto for that. Or want your dodges to heal you? That can be covered as well. Now for some quick tips and tricks to get you started in the beginning of the game. If you want the most out of early combat by lasting longer, don't sleep on investing into vitality points. These will boost your health pool and give you some breathing room while you're still learning those enemy patterns. Second, focus on mastering parries over dodges when possible. Yes, parries are harder to nail, but that slow motion counterattack deals massive damage that can turn the tide of difficult battles. And if you're like us, you can always look up the best Pico combinations to progress as efficiently as possible. Overall, the game isn't exceedingly difficult, you just need to get familiar with those boss mechanics. However, there is a story mode if you just want the narrative. Regardless, endgame areas scatter super bosses across the map that will absolutely destroy you if you're not prepared. Then for the cast and story, this studio, even though they were new, they absolutely nailed it. The level of talent for these voiceover characters include big names like Ben Starr, who did Clive in Final Fantasy 16, plus you've also got Andy Serkis and Charlie Cox in the cast. And the acting quality is actually quite noticeably high across the board. The in-game dialogue feels natural, characters banter well without being obnoxious, and the serious moments really land because the writing doesn't doesn't undercut them. As for the story moments and timeline themselves, we don't want to dive in too deep from here because it is so unique and we don't want to spoil it. If you're thinking of actually playing the game, it's better to be surprised and be taken deeper into the story. That being said, if you're looking for the playtime, it's about 30 to 40 hours for the main mission, or closer to 60 to 70 hours for getting absolutely everything. Now, some notable cool things that really made this game stand out is, unlike Square Phoenix that has over 4,600 employees, Sandfall Interactive only had 34 employees and used help from maybe 500 people, which is crazy compared to that scale of Final Fantasy. Then another thing that made gamers so happy was this title wasn't $80, $100 with in-game purchases and things like that. They gave you a fair $50 price to jump into their world. And what's really cool, if you did see the Game Awards, when they were accepting their Game of the Year, they let us know that they were dropping a DLC for absolutely free. So overall, if you enjoy games like Final Fantasy, Persona, or Lost Odyssey, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 definitely deserves your time. Now, if you already have played it, let us know of your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear people's individual stories or favorite moments in the game, or if you are about to start playing it, definitely come back and let us know later. If you're new here, we are Funjible Games, an online discovery platform with over 600 titles available. You can do things like check out personalized reviews from the community members, or see really cool interviews where we sit down with gaming founders and learn what they did to build their games and what they have coming up in the future. So if you are new here, we appreciate the view. Make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.